What's up, everyone? Here to do Hunter x Hunter 105, and this week's episode was very, very dialogue heavy, I must say. I don't really mind dialogue, but I just feel like some things could be a little shortened, but I definitely feel like Madhouse knows that they're getting a little closer to where the manga is currently, so they might be taking the pace like a little slower, but overall it wasn't a bad episode. Like, we had some interesting things that were talked about, like finding out that girl's backstory. I thought that was interesting. Finding out like the plan about how they're actually going to get in the palace, like I think that was interesting also. And like the thing at the end, like it wasn't a bad episode, but I don't know, the pace is definitely slowed down a lot in the series, but I just feel like this is just like the calm before the storm. I feel like it's about to get a lot better and more action packed, probably in like 5 or 6 more episodes, when we're really like in the palace and having huge conflicts. So we're not that far away. I'm not worried about that, but I'll let you guys know what I thought about the episode. So in the beginning of the episode, we have the king just thinking about why is he enjoying these matches, and he just walks into the room and this little girl's asleep, and once, like, or actually before they're playing, he's just thinking like, this girl is stupid, like I don't get it, why am I losing? But right after that, he decides to offer up a wager, and he says, you can ask me whatever you want, and you offer me your left arm. And I thought that was interesting, because I did think that it might like confuse her a little bit, but we were already told a couple episodes ago that this girl was going to change him, so I kind of figured that, I don't know, she might have good resolve. And wow, I'm not gonna lie, she gave me a lot more than I thought, saying that she said she would take her own life if she lost in a game of Gunji, because she would just be garbage, because her family depends on her and she's the breadwinner. So I thought that was pretty sad. It was messed up, but I also thought it was interesting how they said, like, you don't make money unless you're a national representative. So I'm sure we're probably going to get a little more of a backstory about what happened with that. But one thing I must say, I just hope that we don't end up watching like like 6 or 7 episodes full of content that had Gunji in. But you can definitely tell that this girl is swaying the king's emotions slowly but surely, just because he just seemed like so embarrassed. Like as he says, he tried a petty tactic and he thought it was gonna work, but it didn't at all. And also, I thought that was really interesting how Sheepoof tried to save his life, and he like smacks him away, and Sheepoof says, either I call Neferpitu or you take my head right now. I was like, damn, you guys are loyal. Like, damn, like, I don't know, it really surprised me, because I was thinking that even the royal guards eventually would get more like individual, but I don't know, maybe they really are truly loyal to the king, because like they know other ants clearly would betray them if they could. But I thought it was interesting that the girl wouldn't play unless he got his arm reattached or whatever. I thought that was pretty interesting. And I think it may play a role later on in the arc, just because these ants are already getting like emotions, and technically, like, I wouldn't say she saved the king's life, but she definitely like saved his left arm, that's for sure. But right after that, we go into Morale and Nove, and they're just talking about this is their chance because the soldiers went away, and Neferpitu clearly had to like do something, and they were trying to figure out, like, they said there were 2 reasons. I think they were saying there were 2 reasons that this would happen, and that was either the king ordered it or something is going wrong or a bigger threat came. And like, this is such a psychological series, I have to say, but it just had so much dialogue. Like, my gosh, I don't know, I feel like this probably was a chapter's worth of content for sure, because usually like we've gotten like 2 or 3 chapters all in one thing, but as I said, they're just slowing the pace down, I think, because they're catching up, and Togashi clearly isn't writing chapters anytime soon. But anyways, after that, they realize that they need to go to the palace. So we go over to the king, and he's getting his arm reattached. And Sheepoo's worried about the surroundings, but even though his end isn't good, he said he's gonna go check for himself because he can't trust anyone else because Neferpitou has to use up a lot of nin to like create that huge puppet thing, man. Togashi, man, where do you come up with these like creative ass nin powers? Like, I just like that was just such a weird looking thing in my opinion. But after that, we go over to Nove, and I thought that was a really interesting part of the episode where he talks about how he has to put X's and entrances in a lot of areas, like inside the palace walls, on like the edges, and he's gonna do 3 of each. But one thing that is really interesting that everyone must know is that the only thing is he can enter and exit through any door, but other people though they can't do that. Like they have to enter out of one and go exit out of it also. So I thought that was really interesting. And right after that, we go over to this weird Bezif guy, and he's the secretary, and he actually is the leader of whoever. Or yeah, he was the leader of this country. And as we're finding that out, we find out that there are only 11 ants in there. We have the royal guards and the king. That's 4. We have Chitu and a bunch of like captains or whatever. Like they're not squadron leaders because squadron leaders are higher, and they're the people who are in the palace right now, but the royal guard doesn't really trust anybody else, so that's why Chiapu's coming out. But what the narrator says is that this is their best chance, and yeah, I'm just like wondering, like, what if she hurries up while he's not done and she just turns us in on and he's just like stuck still. Like, that would suck, man, because like she's so fast, and these royal guards, man, like I would not be surprised if she busted through the building and got to him that quick. Like, they're super strong. But after that, we go over to this Bezif guy, and he says he needs like 3 more people to help him out. And he's like, this is so weird. Like, he's some sort of creeper, and he's ordering bodies. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure what he means. Like, I'm not sure if those are like supposed to be like prostitutes or what's going on. Like, I have no idea. But anyways, all they say is that Palm is infiltrating at the same time as Nove, so things are definitely about to pick up. We'll probably have a couple more slow episodes just getting into things, but yeah, it was an okay episode. It wasn't anything really special in my opinion, but it was interesting to finally like see how exactly we're gonna try to infiltrate the palace, because they can go into that certain area. So I think that's cool. And yeah, that's all I have. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode, and thanks.